Hello and welcome to this new video in the SQL section. From this video onwards, over the next few videos, we are going to learn a lot of functions. Now, the first set of functions that we are going to start with in this video is string functions, or you can also call them as text functions. These are quite simple functions, but one of the most used functions. After this, we will be looking into date functions and then moving on. And this video would be a multi-part, rather these concepts would be multi-part videos since the number of functions are too many. So the best thing is to distribute them or divide them into multiple videos so that you can watch them part by part. So let's start. Let's say we can identify any table to start with. Select star from dim product or any table. Now, the very first function that I'm going to start with a basic function called as upper. So there are a lot of functions that we will learn, not just about text functions. Until now, we have learned broadly only aggregate functions, like sum, min, max, count. But that was not it. There are many things that we want to learn. So string functions, then we learn date functions, window functions, and there are other functions as well that we will know. Upper. As the name suggests, upper is used to convert the case to uppercase. Now, whatever I'm going to explain, you keep that thing in mind. No doubt any function that you use in SQL, what you can do is you can hard code a value directly or you can pass a column. So keep that in mind. What do I mean is, for example, if I write something like this way, since it's a text, I have to write it in lowercase. Now, since I'm hard coding a text and not referring to any column, hence I don't need to write the from keyword and the table name. I can only write this much. That's fine. So it will execute. So here what I'm trying to explain you is, when I'm using any function, not just about upper, I can either pass a value directly in this way. If it's a text, I will enclose in single quotes. Or if you want to, let's say, convert a column from a table to uppercase. So all you will do is upper of a column name. For example, English product name. And that's it. So try and understand this fundamental difference, although very easy. This will apply to all functions wherever it needs input. Okay. But remember, whenever there is text, you will enclose in single quotes. So quite straightforward. Now, since we have only said upper of English product name, it will only give us that particular column. It will not give other columns. Keep that in mind. You will have to add those columns extra, either star for getting all the columns or specific columns. And also, since we began our journey in functions with aggregate functions, you know that whenever you use function, the column name disappears. So you can rename this column name. You can also give the same column name, that's fine, this way, or a different name. And if you wanted to compare the original versus the uppercase, so you can do this way. And now the confusion might start for some of you, but don't worry. Understand. I am saying select English product name, which means I am saying pull the English product name column, comma. As soon as you say comma, you are entering into a new calculated column, a computed column that you want to achieve by doing some arithmetic logic like subtraction, addition, etc. or by using any built-in function. So these two columns are different. This is our original English product name column and this is the uppercase column. And then we are reading it as renaming it as English product name. So I'm saying give me English product name column, comma, then give me the uppercase of the English product name and rename it as English product name. So no confusions at all. Along with this, you can bring any other columns you want. Similarly, we can quickly go ahead and convert this to lowercase. I can say lower. Now lower, if at all already it is in lowercase, then you will not be able to see the impact. So what you got to do is convert this to uppercase. So now you see, and you convert this, and every single character converts into lowercase. Simple to start with these two functions. So these are first set of functions in the text functions or string functions. The next are three functions for extraction. At times what happens is you want to extract certain number of characters from the left, right, or somewhere in between. And I understand if you're coming already from a data background and you've worked a little bit in Excel or any other tool, these functions are same over there. That's good to know if you know them already. But this is specifically for the others who have never, learned these things. So this is for them. Now let's say I want to extract certain number of characters from the left hand side. So you will use a function called as left. It has two inputs, the data or the text from which you want to extract and the number of characters. Now, the most important thing when you use functions is all about data types. So data types have a very important role to play, and it is one of the most neglected things also. So now if you see, the expression is n varchar. N varchar means, okay, it can be a text or number, that's fine. But the number of characters is int. It always has to be integer. So let me start to explain. If I want the first two characters, I'll say hello, comma. Since this is the second input, I have to go into that by doing a comma and say 2 and close the bracket. So what this function does is it takes the hello as the character as the input, and from the left hand side it will start extracting and return me two characters. And it is not compulsory that this is a text. You can apply left function on any data. It can be numeric also. But the catch is the second input should be numeric. And the another thing is, this is what I will explain now. It doesn't only apply to left, but in general for any functions. Whenever, let's say, any input is required, it will tell you what data type it needs. So this needs integer, which is a pure number without decimal. Now that number, you can either hard code like I have done, or you can pass from any other way. Now any other way means you can use any other function which returns a number, or any column also, or a variable, what we will learn. But the bottom line is it has to be a number or whatever data type. That's it. Okay. And similarly, to show you the effect of left on a column, you will do this way. Left of English product name, let's say I want 3 characters, so I can say 3. So there you go. You will have 3 characters. Another important thing is keep in mind, space is also a character. So one space means one character. So 2 spaces would mean 2 characters. Keep that in mind. We will see the effect of this very soon. Next thing, if you give somewhat like more than the number of characters which are there, what will happen? So you will not get an error. It will extract all the characters and return to you. So that is one thing that can be additionally also kept in mind. Next thing now, this is all about left. And the opposite of this is nothing but right. I'll just copy this and say right. So let's say I want write 3 characters. So simply I'll say 3. Now, how do you start counting? This is the first rightmost character. This is the second rightmost, and this is the third most. So that's why you are getting LLO. So the counting will start from the right hand side, and this I need to change the function. Sorry. So this should be right. And there you go, ACE. Look at that, race, ball, AAL, ALL, and so onwards. Pretty simple to start with. Left will extract from left, right will extract from right. Both take 2 inputs. The second input for each of them is an integer, so you pass anyways. All right. And the final in this series is a function called as substring. What in case if you don't want to extract from the left or right, somewhere like in between? So substring, it is also termed as mid in some tools like Excel and maybe other tools. But here we don't have a mid function. We have a function called substring. Let's say I want to extract the second, third, and the fourth character. So now if you see, it has 3 inputs. The expression, which means your input or text, the starting position, which should be an integer, and the length of the characters in integer. And this returns a string. String means text. So for example, I say hello. I want the second, third, and the fourth character. How will you write this? You will do a comma. In the second argument or input, you will say 2. 2 means I want to start from the second position. Comma. The total number of characters, including the second character. You have to count the second character also, or the starting character. You should not leave it. So this is what the substring would do for me. So it says, start from the second character, which is E, and including that, give me 3 characters, which is ELL. And you can start from the first character also. That's okay. So in that case, this position will change to 1. This number will change to anything. And so onwards. Similarly, for example, let me show you. So this is, I will do through substring. I can achieve the same by doing the left also. I can say left of English product name, comma 3. But how substring is superior is in this way. So it can start anywhere in between. I'm saying start from the third character, and including the third character, give me 4 characters in this way. So that's about these 3 functions. Going ahead, we will use these functions in more dynamic way when we'll cover scenarios. And one more function, couple of more functions to end up in this video, is a function called as len. Now len takes one input. As the name suggests, len stands for length. So what it does is, it gives you the total number of characters including spaces. Keep that in mind, including spaces. So for example, now you see hello has 5 characters. Let me show you. If I add one space, the count will be 6. If I add one more space, the count will be 7. There can be spaces also at the start or beginning, a start or end, and every space counts. Keep that in mind. Similarly, if you wanted to know the total number of characters for each row in a column, this is how you will write. So you get the total number of characters. All these functions we are learning on standalone basis right now. Very soon when we will see examples of rather scenarios, you will come to know how these can be used in a dynamic way. But for now, let us first cover our base. And then there is a function called as trim finally. So what does trim do is, it takes one input. It is used to remove the leading and trailing spaces, which means the spaces at the start and at the end. It won't remove spaces in between. So how can you confirm? Simply click on this result, copy, single quote open, paste single quote. So now you can see the spaces have gone away. Simple. It will remove any and all spaces, but it won't remove any spaces in between. To remove the spaces in between, there is something else that we'll have to do. Alright. And similarly, if you want to trim all the rows of a column in a table, this is how you do. Quite simple. Alright. So if there were any spaces at the start stop, it would be removed. Fine. And there is a function, there are a couple of other functions in this category called as ltrim. Now ltrim stands for, it will only trim the spaces on the left hand side. Let us see. Look at this. So all the spaces from here have gone away, and these are the spaces which are remaining. And the opposite of this is rtrim. So let's copy this. Look at that. All the spaces from the right hand side have gone away, and only spaces at the left hand side are there. So in this way, these functions will be quite handy, although they are very simple and straightforward, but it is important that we know them, and we'll cover them dynamically in future. That's it in this video. We'll continue on more string functions in the next video. See you.